Thank you for Patreon now for donating to the Patreon.
Hey guys, Vandy back into the Card Fight Vanguard deck profiles. If you enjoyed them, type, subscribe, and start, shall we? On a completely unrelated note, I just spent like 4 hours traveling through mud. I found the legendary stick Excalibur, couldn't pull it out of its magical ground stone, and I also found the Lady of the Mud stick right next to it. In hindsight, I should have used the Lady of the Mud stick to pick up Excalibur. That's a whole of the story to unpack. I just wanted to say that at the start of this video, but yeah, so if anyone wants to figure out what the fuck I mean by that, comment down below and I'll tell you, but otherwise, let's go and get the deck profile started. That was completely unrelated to the deck profile. Anyways, first up we have our starter in hashtag first step Kyouka. So, Kyouka Lion just uses magazines, does like a lot of weird things with grades. I must say, it's one of the few lines I only like the grade 0 from, but let's just say this. Grade 0, in terms of the words smash or pass. For once, Lyrical has me by the ropes on this one. So grade 0 boost 5k, shows escape base. I must say it's probably the ponytails, honestly. Anyways, and also because I'm into the tomboy thing. Anyways, auto and Rotopon, if you win second, draw a card. Cool. All around, just standard star, not special about it. I find it weird that that's a common thing they're all going to have with the hashtag in their name, but at least it's only the ride line and not the support cards. So yeah, cool. Nice starter. You can kind of pick whatever starter you want, but like I said, this is one of my only favorite starters of Lyrica and the only card I would accept the Smash or Pass deal with. So yeah, Kyouka is the starter here. Then we have Overtrigger and Demonic Fever Gaviria, grade 0 boost, 50 shield, 5k power. Overtrigger, my one Overtrigger deck reveals trigger, move that card, draw a card, choose one of your gets plus +1 for the turn. And if you reveal it during your activation, which is during this fight, you get during your turn, all your rear guards get plus 10k power. So essentially, your rear guards become 20k columns if they're in columns. And that is essentially an instant game with Lyrica, considering like any rush deck you play in Lyrica will always win once you see the over. That has always been the case. But the thing is, though, you can still beat a Lyrica deck even if they sack the over. I've done it. It's called saying fuck it. Fuck guarding because I'm not going to outguard them. That's for damn sure. Put everything on the offense because they're going to put everything on the offense considering all their rear guards are at least 5k drops now. So yeah, obviously ram full heading to Gaviria even if they do sack the over and it somehow works. So yeah, my best results being Bruce because Bruce has Julian now. So yeah, one of Gaviria's are over. Then we have our regular triggers, 3 fronts and Snow Skip Harvey. You don't really need fronts in this deck simply because like fronts don't, wait, no, it's not Kyouka that has the front problem, it's the other deck, never mind. So anyways, grade 0 boost, 15k shield, 4k power, front triggers, guard circle, if your opponent's vanguards are grade 3, gets plus 5k shield, cool 20k shield. I mean, the deck, like I said, it gets enough power, we don't need the extra fronts, but the fronts are nice. We have our 4 draws in Transparent Snowy Night Bear Toy, grade 0 boost, 5k shield, 4k base, draw 2 tunes guard circle, if your opponent's vanguards are grade 3 or greater, it gets plus 5k shield, cool, so it's a 20k guard, I mean 10k guard, which all around is really nice, especially the draw helps, because with this deck revolving around having different grades on board, the draw definitely helps in getting said different grades into your hand. Run 4 crits of Precise Tune Edwidge, grade 0 boost, 5k, 15k shield, 4k power, critical trigger, auto rear, or Precious Tune, sorry, I don't know why I was saying precise. Auto rear at the end of the battle that boosted, put it to soul, choose one of your plus 2 for the turn, and it's just a standard crit ability. I mean, it's here for the 2k. Really, you can put any crit here. This deck doesn't have a soul problem. This deck doesn't have a counterblast well, it has a counterblast problem. It doesn't have a soul problem, though, and it definitely doesn't have a power problem. So you could honestly afford to change this for any other crit, and you'd probably be fine, but might as well. You run 2 of the effect trees, you gotta run the 3rd one. And then we run 4 copies of Peaceful Garden Anika. She's just my favorite heal. I don't know why. Or at least from this clan. No offense to Ariana, the good grade 0 from Dark States. I have no bias against you. But yeah, Anika here, I don't know why. She's just my favorite heal from Lyrica. So why not run out of 4 of. Then we have our grade 1s. First, we start out with our normal order, which is basically how the deck plays around, and if you don't have your normal order, it's instant scoop because you're not going to win without it. And that is Lyrical Shooting Star S. I say that because half your cards require you to play this order. So anyways, grade 1, normal order. Play your Vanguard Kyouka and its card name, so you can play it right at grade 1 if you wanted to. Perform all the following according to the number of units on your board. 2 or more grade 1 units, counts the Vanguard in case you're wanting to play this during grade 1 turn for whatever reason. Draw 2, drop 1. 2 or more grade 2 units, choose one of your units, gets plus 10 for the turn, and 2 or more grade 3 units, countercharge 1. Okay, the thing is with this deck, you will, as rare as it is to somehow see grade 1s, despite the fact there are more grade 1s in this deck than any other grade, you will consistently probably get off the second 2 effects. I don't know why. I always have 2 grade 3s. I pretty much always have 2 grade 2s unless the late game's coming up and for some reason all my grade 2s have been nuked. And grade 1s, for some reason, despite the fact being at the most, are very hard to come by for me. I don't know why. So either way, Shooting Star S, pretty good card all around. Basically gets a small counter charge, gets a nice +10 to your possible restander, and it's a draw 2, drop 1, so if you want to play this in the early game, you can. All around, nice order. I like it. I think it's good. I kind of wish it was a set order, but because it looks like a set order in my mind, but hey, it's still good, so 4 of. Then we have our first normal grade 1, 3 copies of Best Choice Laodomia. Grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, act rear. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Kyouka in its card name, put this to solo, choose a grade 2 or greater unit with a different card name from your Vanguard, from your drop, and put it on top of your deck. The reason why it says different card name from your Vanguard is because Bushi was smart and was like, even though it requires Kyouka, you could, especially if Bushi found a way to do it later, you kind of have a way to get like a free grade 4. Or, I mean, not free grade 4, like a free Persona ride, basically. And that's the reason why it says different name, because that would be a free Persona ride. But, you know, all around, pretty good. Get you soul for a deck that, granted, doesn't have much of a soul problem, but it's helpful. And not to mention the fact it kind of prevents you from decking out if you need to. And if you play it right, technically combos off into Kyouka, who can get you your different grades on board. So all around, the video is pretty good. I give her a 3 of. Then we have 4 copies of Not Good With Heat York. I put this in at 4 because, like I said, without the order, this deck, while it doesn't necessarily die, it doesn't do anything really. So I value that order over anything else. But if you want to put it down to 3 and put this up to 4, I can see why. Anyways, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. Auto rear, when you place from hand, Soul Blast 1, look at top 5, just 1 Lyrical Shooting Star S from your deck, reveal it, add it to your hand, and shuffle. So basically, Soul Blast, get the order. All around, not bad. Like I said, I do value that order over everything else because while there are ways to get the order back in deck from drop, if I remember correctly, or I might be completely wrong, it is very important you get that order. So even if it's only top 5, it's a chance you might see it. So I give York a 4 of because the order is important. But again, I can see you dropping her down to 3 and get this up to 4. And then again, I don't really need her because I see 3 of them pretty easily. One of them I get in my opening hand or by my grade 2 turn. The second one typically shows up via Kyouka's ability, and then the third one shows up whenever the fuck it feels like it. Then we have our 4 PGs, our last grade 1 that isn't the ride deck 1, and Musical Committee Nickeling, grade 1 boost, 0 shield, 6k base. Continue Sentinel, 4 signs of the deck, and always put on guard circle, choose my views, it gets, cannot be done about it, if your hand is 2 or more cards, you card from hand, discard it. I've realized I've seen this PG a lot lately, because whenever I try to make it, like, give a PG for a deck that doesn't have a archetypal PG or, like, a typing PG, I always make it Nickeling because she looks like a human, so I give it to the human lines. I give it to the elf lines because she is an elf, and I think I gave it to the ghost line because I don't remember giving the ghost lines a ghost PG. And I know I gave it to the dragon girls, too, because I didn't have another PG. Quite literally, Nickeling's in almost every one of my lyrical decks simply because I cannot find a better PG. So, you know, Nickeling is all around really good. She is a constant PG that shows up, so I can't say anything bad about her. So yeah, 4 of. Shows up when I need her to. If I shit talk her, I'm afraid she'll actually stop showing up. So Nickeling, keep doing your job, because whatever you're doing, it's doing good. And then we have our last grade 1 or grade 1 of the ride deck, and that is hashtag ready to go, Kyouka. I would do this in a Valagaroxen if I knew how to do a Valagaroxen. Anyways, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, auto when it's wrote upon by a grade 2 with Kyouka in its card name. You see, I question that when Bushi does this, because I took that from the fandom, not from Discord. So that's an official thing. They are making another ride line, or at least another different named ride line, because otherwise it's very weird for this to say grade 2 with Kyouka. Because, I mean, yeah, it saves text, but we all know what I'm getting at here, right? Because why not do it for Rinu and Ryu, right? I think we all know what I'm trying to get here, but I just can't explain it. Anyways, when it's wrote upon by the grade 2, choose up to a grade between 1 and 3, declare and either look at the top 5, choose up to 1 unit card with the declared grade, or a magazine card from among them, you're able to put it to hand of your deck. Okay, even though there's only 1 grade magazine, and that's grade 1, I'm pretty sure by the way this is worded, the magazine does not have to be the grade you declared. So if you declare a grade 2, you can still get the magazine if it's in there, because it says or magazine card. So yeah, either way, really nice. It can either basically get you a card you can call later for your Kyouka turn when you go to grade 3, or get you your magazine for setup. All around ready to go. Kyouka is all around a nice grade 1 support card, does it for free, has no minus to it, might as well run out of 1 of. In the right deck, of course. They move on to our grade 2s. I only have 8 grade 2s. The reason why I run 8 grade 2s is because this deck can somehow consistently hit all my grade 2s. unless we are in the end game and all of my grade 2s have been nuked. So anyways, or to be specific, 3 of them have been nuked and the other 5 just don't know where the fuck they are. Anyways, well-informed Fedalima, grade 2 and stuff 5 show 10k base, act rear once per turn. If you played a magazine order this turn, counter boss 1 gets plus 10. So the deck does have a little bit of a counterblast problem, but Lyrica Shooting Stars balances out by getting me a counter charge. And then this thing becomes either a 20k swinger or with the boost of a Shooting Stars, a 30k swinger. Plus the Vanguard skill making her 35 on her own column. All around, Fedalima's pretty good. I like her. Gets numbers. She very cute. She has the nice little glasses. She has the really long pink ponytails and the flowers in her hair. All around, I give her 4. She's just a nice card to me. Then we have 4 copies of Blue Frontier Archie, who I must admit I don't like her skill, but I give her points because her hair looks so fucking realistic. Her hair looks 3D to me. It feels like it's coming right out of the card. I give them points for that, and that's why she's here. Anyways, grade 2 and stuff 5 gets shield 10k base, continues rear guard during turn. If you played a magazine order this turn, she gets plus 5. Cool. So essentially combine this with Kyouka's skill. She's a 20k plus possibly the order skill. She's a 30k, and if you're wondering why you would give her the order, is because auto rear once per turn at the end of the battle, your grade 3 or greater Vanguard attacked. If you played a magazine this turn, counter boss 1, slow boss 1, stand her. Okay, I want this to be clear. This deck can get going while your opponent's at grade 2, meaning you can go. You get your full board of 2 grade 3s, 2 grade 1s, 2 grade 2s, use your order, do your draw 2, discard 1, give this thing plus 10, counter charge, give this thing plus 5 from her skill, give this thing plus 5 from Kyouka's skill. She's a 30k swinger. Swing with her, they probably guard it. Vanguard goes in, twin drive, who fucking cares? This restands, and now you still have 2 attacks left. Archie is quite literally, in my opinion, one of those cards where I don't think it, like, Bushy's starting to take the restanding thing into just, this is the norm now. It's either you have a way to restand or you don't, because a lot of decks now have ways to restand, and I can't tell now if it's just them trying to go try hard with the heal thing or if it's something else. Either way, Archie is a good grade 2 all around. I can't say I like the restand. I think that's just why I don't like her. She just feels so generic because it feels like everyone's getting a restander now. The 5k is fine, but it's not enough to make me warrant running her over the fact that her hair feels real to me, and that's literally it. If it wasn't for the hair, I would not run this because this card feels so fucking vanilla. But 4 of Archie. Go ahead, Bushy. Keep printing cards out like this. Eventually, I'll just stop using them. Then we have our ride deck grade 2 in hashtag hot stuff Kyouka. I do not agree with that statement, but we can clearly tell why this was drawn. Grade 2 and stuff 5k shield, 10k base. Auto when it's wrote upon by a grade 3 Kyouka in its card name. There it is again. Choose up to 1 magazine card from your drop zone, put it to hand, and if you put to hand. Oh wait, if you put counter boss wants your deck for it to 1 magazine, reveal it, put it to hand, shuffle. And that's a skill I stole from the fandom. Is that right? Because the other version that I have is if you did not put, where you either get a magazine from drop or in deck. I feel like it makes sense for it to be you didn't put, because it would be a better benefit, I guess, but it'd be like a minus. I don't know. I feel like this is wrong. I feel like the text is wrong. I feel like the first part is right, where you get the order to hand. But I feel like it is, the original text was right, and it's if you didn't put counterboss get an order, because otherwise that's just a free get 1 magazine and then get another one for a counterboss of 1, which is not remotely necessary. Like, I've been playing the deck the way I described it, and I have not needed to do that, and frankly, in my opinion, that would break the deck. So, 1 of in the ride deck, I feel like that skill is wrong, but I can't tell, so take that as you will. Anyways, we have our grade 3 and 4 copies of Early Adapter Lovicia. Grade 3, 200% art, 13k base, act rear, retire this unit, choose a Lyrical Shooting Stars from your drop, put it to hand. Unless you're going Yusei Fudo from 5D style combos, there is no reason to ever use this. Because half the time when I play her, she is a fucking vanilla in the back row, because like I said, all my Lyricals show up within the 5 seconds that I need them to, and I don't need to retire her. But the one time I did need to, I did Yusei style plays, retired her, drew, did some combo plays, called out another grade 3, and then played the order, and then plussed off it. I think what I did was, I used her skill, got the order back, used Lomidia, get her back to top, and then I used Kyouka skill to call her from top, and then I use the order. So yeah, Yusei style plays. All around, Levicia is a good card. She essentially fetches your order back. She's a nice grade 3. I literally see her in all my games. I have no reason not to run her because she's the most consistent main backup grade 3 I have ever seen. She will not leave me the fuck alone. I think I'm in trouble. 4 of Levicia. Then we have our last unit in the deck and our last card in the deck, and that's 4 copies, 3 in the main deck, 1 in the red deck of our last grade 3, hashtag make a trend! Kyouka with 2 exclamation marks for some reason. Anyways, grade 3 200, persona at 13k base. Gotta say, love the grade 0 a lot, fuck the rest of the ride line. Act Van, once per turn, Soul Blast 1, choose a grade from 1 to 3, declare it, look at the top 5, choose 1 unit card from the declared grade, call it to rear, or choose a magazine card from on the reveal, put it to hand, shuffle your deck. Okay. I said it with, what ride deck was it that I said I hate this from? What ride deck did I say I hate this? Because I don't remember what the ride deck was, but I said I hated it because all it did was the grade 3 copied the grade 1. Oh, it was Youthberg. It was Youthberg, yeah. Youthberg grade 3 copied the grade 1 just for a different cost. And I hate the fact that it does the same thing here, except last time it was free. Obviously, this wouldn't be free, but like, it's disappointing that the grade 1 does the exact same thing word for word, except it doesn't have to be rode upon, obviously, and it's a Soul Blast. I mean, you call the rear guard, but okay. So, like, I don't know. I hate it that it's almost a direct copy. Thankfully, it's not like Youthberg where outside of the cost it is straight up a direct copy, but I don't know. That skill feels so generic. If I'm gonna shit talk it on Youthberg, I'm gonna shit talk it here. Like, it's not a bad skill. It's a rear guard and a possible magazine, but that is so disappointing. It's like, when I read these, it feels like Bushy gave up and like they're like, you know what, fuck it, we need to push this shit out. Let's get these skills and just give it to them and then just slightly change the cost. Again, I'm not saying they're bad skills. I'm just saying they don't feel original. Like, they don't feel like main grade 3 skills when the grade 1 of the ride line has the same exact fucking skill, just on a different scale. So, like, I don't know. And then change Vanguard during your turn. If you played a magazine card, all your front row gets +5. Okay, so essentially what I get from this is it's a knockoff version of the grade 1, because the knockoff version did it for free, and it also didn't, granted it had to be wrote upon, but that's different. And yes, it gives +5k, but then they just gave the same skill to Archie. Again, I say, every time Bushy pumps out something new, all of these ride lines are starting to feel a little bit similar in how they do things. Typically, not always, but typically they get a restander. For example, we know Dradger's getting a restander. Leonorn I won't count, because Leonorn doesn't get multi-attack out of it. But Youthberg technically gets a restander. Kyouka obviously got a restander. Let's see. The last ride line, the Ghost Girl one got a restander. Michiru technically got a restander. That's like, half the Lyrical decks got restanders. Half of them. And then Riffle is just a knockoff of Akari. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying any of these skills are bad, but all of these feel like we're just taking other decks' gimmicks and then kind of change them because we're rushing out on the skills because we have to get these out. I really do wish they stuck with the formula of set 2 where they take the decks from the previous set, upgrade them, and then introduce 2 new sets. Like, for example, they take the 2 sets, they take Kari and they take Hermina and Fortia, which they did do. Then they take like the 2 struggling decks that came out of set 2 for Lyrica, put them into this set, and then they take 2 new ride lines and then develop them and give them some uniqueness so we don't have fucking 3 decks having 3 standards right out the wazoo. It's, in my opinion, it's boring to look at. Like, if you think about it for it all, it's starting to get a little repetitive. If you just turn your brain off, it doesn't matter. But if you think about it at all, in my opinion, it feels like it's getting repetitive. Like, either way, Kyouka's a fine grade 3 and all. I'm just saying, it feels like this is just Youthberg B-Tech, aka you just take the skills of 2 different cards and shove it on the grade 3 and expect it to be good. Like, I'm not saying it's not good, I'm just saying. So, 3 of in the main deck, 1 of in the red deck. And that's it for the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed. This video is astronomically shorter than my other ones because I'm actually trying to record shorter for once, and I'm sorry that that last bit turned into me complaining about how Bushy does things, but yeah, I feel like I'm not the only one that kind of thinks this, where if you think about it for even a second, a lot of these seem like they're either knockoffs or everyone's just copying the same formula because that's the only way we're going to get something consistent. Not everyone gets a restand. Not everyone gets a way to get extra crits. But typically, now, it's either extra crits, restander, or I guess like triple drive is what we can call it. Like, that's pretty much all it is. It's either extra crits, restander, just forgot triple drive. It's kind of boring getting this way. At this point, it's kind of like the norm. That's an annoying factor. I think the only unique one in my mind would be Greedon, because Greedon doesn't get multi-attacks out of it, but even then, it's not really that unique. It's just restanding the same unit twice, essentially Overlord the clan. So, I don't know, that's just my view on it. Either way, this deck is fine and all, it's good. Like, I don't know, I'm not entertained by it, but like I said, that's because, like, when I play about it, I actually do think about this, and I turn my brain on. I'm not saying other people don't turn their brain on, I'm just saying, like, I turn my brain on to the logic of these things seem extremely familiar. So I'm going to here before I complain more. I hope you guys enjoyed, despite the fact of me being a little bit anti this deck. This deck is fun, though, if you let it be fun. Best starter in terms of looks, in my opinion. Fuck the rest of the ride line. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join us, Discord, follow Twitch, and I'll see you all next one. Don't forget to stand up your vanguards.